Hi everyone, it's Alex Fung from Remax Hallmark and Daryl King team. Today we're going to be talking about the May 2022 real estate markets within Markham. So let's just jump right into it. The number of homes that were sold in Markham last month was about 261 homes. Okay, comparing that number versus last year, which was about 569, we can see that there's a big decrease in buyers. Okay, there's less than half of the buyers in the market right now versus the year before. Okay, the number of active listings is also an interesting number to look at. Okay, so that just means how many homes are available. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily mean it was this month that was listed. It could also be previous months. Okay, so now there are 647 homes that were active versus 610, which means that there was an increase in about 6% of homes available. Okay, so now if you think about it, that means there's bigger supply and less demand. Okay, which leads to us becoming more of a balanced market. Now, a balanced market is really defined by 6 months worth of inventory. Right now, we can see that we jumped up from a little over 1 to 2.5 months of worth of inventory, which is interesting to note and good to know, okay, whether you're buying or selling. Now, if you're a home buyer and thinking about waiting, you need to take into consider of the rise in income of employers. Okay, they're willing to pay their employees more money. Also, housing demand is driven by immigration. Okay, there's a record amount of immigrants coming to Canada, and that really affects obviously the housing markets. Now, you need to really think too, like, are you planning on buying the place to rent it out, or is it for you to move in? Okay, about 20% of people are investors. The other 80 are more for consumers. So if you're really going to hold on and live in the property for 5-10 years, then it doesn't really matter how much when you're going to buy the home. Okay, everyone's trying to time the market, but in reality, it's an extremely difficult thing to do. If you even look at this past CEO of CMHC, which is the Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation, before the pandemic, he was expecting that the housing prices would drop to about 18%. Now, if you didn't listen to him and you ended up buying, you would have been up, depending on the area, 50 to 60%, right? So you really need to think about that. And now, if you're the homeowner looking to downsize or upsize, right, you need to think about your situation, right? If you're thinking about downsizing, you need to think about the value of your home, right? Yes, your neighbor that sold in February got more money than what you can right now. But if you bought the property 20 years ago, you're probably being up, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, right? So it might be a good idea for you to consider cashing out. Because with that downsizing and inflation, you can use that equity and turn into cash and help you afford other day essentials or travel. Okay. If you're thinking about upsizing, right, it doesn't matter. You should really consider about selling as well, right, before you buy. Because homes are taking longer to sell, you don't want to put yourself in a compromising position when it comes to negotiations. Okay, so what I like to think of it is sell high and buy low. Right. So right now is a peak time. Interest rates are still very low. Okay. A lot of media is exaggerating and creating fear in the market. Okay. But if you think about, timing the markets, right, and comparing that interest rates to housing prices, you can see historically why the higher the interest rates, the lower the home prices are. So if you wanted to wait for a year or 2 years or even 3 years, it's unlikely that we'll go back down to, all-time lows of interest rates. Okay. So you might be thinking though, as a homeowner, if I sell now, Alex, where do I live? Right. So there are a couple options. The first one is you can live with your family and friends. The second one is you get another place, an Airbnb, or you rent a place for a year. The third option, which is my most favorite option, is you find a buyer that allows you to live in the property and rent it on a monthly basis. That way, you don't need to move twice, which causes a lot of pain and anxiety and a lot of work. And the second one really is that it gives you the flexibility when you make an offer, okay? When you do find a property that you like. And homeowners love flexibility, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to help. Take care. Bye-bye.